Chance extra copy.
Yes. You're good.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 6:30 on February 22nd, 2024. I'd like to have citizen comments. Do we have any? No? Okay, we're gonna go to consider approval of minutes for November 16th and January 25th and take appropriate action. Can I have a motion to accept and approve the minutes for November 16th?
I make a motion to accept the amended November 16 minutes.
Second?
Second.
May I have a motion to accept January 25th?
I make
Minutes.
a motion to accept the January 25th minutes as written.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Receive an event center update and take appropriate action.
So we have joining us tonight, Robert Diaz, who is the Parks and Recreation Director. And so we're all thrilled to have him joining us tonight. Of course, this is our entire historical park board. We're missing one member tonight, Ann, but Robert's going to give the update on the event center.
All right.
I appreciate you guys letting me be here. Like Hillary said, I've actually been back. I actually worked here, just to give you guys a little brief update on me. I worked here back at the old rec center back in the late 80s.
When it was Don Showman?
In Don Showman.
I was there.
Yeah, so, and I went to Turner. I grew up in the area, so I'm very familiar with the area. Worked here and then part-time, put myself through UNT, then came back to work full-time, left Farmers Branch in 1999, and I've worked for the city of Wiley in Collin County for 22 and a half years, and I retired from there in 2022. So, but an opportunity came up in Farmers Branch in the sustainability department. So that's where I've been the last year and a half. And then Carrie Phillips, who was the director for a brief moment, decided to go ahead and retire. And so I was approached by the management to see if I'd be interested in coming and back and being the director. And I said, sure, I wanted to jump at the chance. So I appreciated the opportunity, and I'm kind of fit. I did a park board meeting last week. This is my second meeting to kind of go to kind of get familiar with. There's quite a few boards. I was used to one board when I was director in Wiley, so I appreciate the fact that we got a good team in place that are kind of keeping these boards moving and kind of going. And so anyway, that's so I moved in the office. I'm at City Hall, got meetings going and kind of making the rounds. So anytime any of you have any questions, just don't hesitate to reach out, get to Hillary. She can, and I have the same end email. It's just robert.diaz at farmersbranchtx.gov, and I'll be able to answer those questions for you. And so I'm kind of getting up to speed on the event center. We actually, I had my first kind of walk around the building last week. And you guys that are coming out to see the monthly meetings, you're seeing kind of a lot of progress. You know, there was a lot of progress just from last week to this week. The construction fence is gone. They've started cleaning up around the site. They're putting siding on the outside of the building. They're also doing siding inside the interior cladding as well. It's a beautiful facility, and we're pushing right now to get ready for we've got the Board and Commissions event on April 6th. We've got some challenges to get to that. We're hoping that we're going to make that date. If there are any changes, we'll let you guys know. I know there's a save the date that's gone out to everybody, but we've got some things to work through probably early next week to firm all that up. But other than that, I think they're progressing really, really well. There's a couple of things that we're waiting on that they had to order, and so that's kind of the big things we're working through at this point. So, we're park staff is preparing to help get looking at the landscape plan and all the exterior work. And I know we have our first event booked for that public event on May 4th. And I think this afternoon, Lynette Hill, the event manager, was booking another event, I think, a week after that.
Nice.
So things are starting to start to pick up. So that's definitely, something we're moving to. We'll definitely be, if we end up pushing or moving the boards and commissions, which we're hoping not to do, we'll still be done in April. I mean, we'll still be done in April, and we'll definitely be ready for that first May 4th event. So,
We have a
Fourth be
ribbon
with you.
ceremony or anything?
so right now what we're looking to do is, part of that boards and commissions is to kind of do a dedication as part of that event. We're not planning a big shindig. We're just going to have kind of soft opening and just kind of get rolling. That'll be kind of our kickoff opportunity for, city officials to come see the finished product. All of you, all the other boards and commissions, and we'll kind of do a small dedication, work with the Masons to get that rolling. And that's probably how we'll kind of just get going and just start having events. And I know the special events team, Jeff Fairchild, that event manager, is really interested in how we're going to utilize that facility, like for the fireworks show and bluegrass and some of those events coming up, in addition to all the different, rentals and things that we're going to be doing. And definitely, one of the big things I've tried to do since, the couple of weeks that I've been here is try to get Hillary and her team. I think we've been so uber focused on getting the building done. Now it's kind of trying to bring everybody together to kind of really look kind of holistically at the whole property. So looking at, because we've got an events group, we've got Hillary's group, we've got and then the event center group. So we're trying to kind of make sure we're staying in really good communication, so we don't have a whole lot of prevent any conflicts and things like that. There's going to be some challenges. We've already got it to where I know there's an event, and we got someone wanting to book, I think, this house for the same time. So, which I don't think will have conflicts with the event, but parking and infrastructure, yes, those are some challenges that we'll have to work through. So, I mean, but I feel like that's where we need to get the communication kind of working. So everybody's talking to each other. Hillary and Lynette, and then Jessica, our new recreation manager, Jessica Alvarado, who was rec superintendent. She was our rec manager at the rec center. We just promoted her to rec superintendent. And I don't know if many of you know Maria Mentor. She kind of helped. She was the rec superintendent. She moved over to Public Works. She still works for the city, and she got a great opportunity to move over there. So we backfilled her position with Jessica, and so she'll be helping Lynette kind of get the facility ready. This next month or so to get the push to get it open. So, but if I have any questions, let me know. I mean, if there's anything you got any update, I'm here to kind of answer any questions you got.
So you're overseeing the project, not Lynette?
No, it's Lynette's project. I'm just kind of
curious. Helping.
Yeah, I mean, this project and the falls under Parks and Rec, and so does the branch connection as well for the seniors. And so those are kind of our two big projects that we're kind of trying to push through. That's just started, so that one's got a little ways to go, but we're trying to push this one through, so get it to the finish line.
Thank you.
No
And
problem.
then I was going to update y'all. I did talk to Lynette today because I know we all discussed doing kind of a VIP event for Historical Park Board, past board members, supporters, all of that. And we were looking at, so I wanted to go ahead and throw it out so that we could, if it was something y'all wanted to move forward on the date, we could put it on the agenda for next month. We were looking at the April 24th, I wrote down my wrong date, our next board meeting in April, not the March one, but the April one, that night of doing a VIP event for Historical Park Board previous.
April 25th?
Yes, that Thursday night.
Specific.
Same
And
night.
would that serve as a walkthrough?
Yes. So it would be, the idea would be to put on the agenda for next time, if that's something we want to move forward with, of like canceling our board meeting for April, which we didn't even have a board meeting last year in April, and then doing the event and inviting that you know, VIP, everyone that we invited at the groundbreaking, and be able to do a walkthrough and see the building, contingent on everything is completed and we're able to do just that. So I just wanted to throw that date out to you guys, and then we'll add it to next month, because it'll need to be officially voted on.
Okay.
But I did talk to Lynette, and that date is available. You were correct, the 25th. Thursday, the
Thursday,
25th, yes. So in lieu of our meeting, we get to celebrate the new building. Well, I will add that to next month's agenda. If anyone has any questions or any, email me, and we'll have that as discussion and then vote. I think that was everything. Does anyone have any questions?
All right, moving on to 149, receive historical park quarterly report, first quarter, 23-24.
So in your packet, we have our first quarter report, and this covers October through December 2023, as well as, you know, kind of the year-end review, even though this is our first quarter, so it's pretty standard. On our overall monthly revenue, our year-to-date revenue totals for the first quarter have decreased a minor amount, 4.5% compared to last year. So this last year's first quarter overall revenue, so that includes everything, was a little over 85,600. And this year it was just a tad less than 82,000, so a decrease of less than $4,000. There were a few changes to programming for the fall to accommodate the expanded community event, our Day of the Dead. And we decided, I think I mentioned last time, moving the Classic Car Show from that November date. We're going to move it to September, so it's still in this calendar year, but that'll help relieve some of the fall events and activities that go on. That'll spread it out a little bit better, moving from November to September. For the Day of the Dead, we switched from a $30 per person ticketed event to a free community celebration. We had over 300 attendees, concessions, mariachi band, folklorico, etc. And then, of course, the jewel of the night was the large community altar there in the church. We have a ton of participants bringing in mementos and leaving them to honor their deceased loved ones. As I mentioned, moving the car show. We did have a 24% increase in rentals for the first quarter from previous year's first quarter, and the majority of our programs, of course, sell out, because most of them do. Some of the highlights were our fall mini photo sessions, and I have all of our revenue totals there. School tours, our sold out Christmas teas, sold out charcuterie board, kids in the kitchen cooking class, and our Girl Scout workshops. Our rental revenue, as I mentioned, for the first quarter for this fiscal year totaled just under $5,000 compared to just under $4,000 for the first quarter of last year, an increase of 24%, or a little less than $1,000. With that, we had 5 rentals, which included 3 weddings, baby shower, corporate event, as well as 26 hotel rooms that generated a little over $5,000 for our hotel occupancy tax fund. Other revenue was the everything beyond rentals. So with that, we actually had a very slight decrease of 7%. For this first quarter, the revenue came in around $77,000 compared to last year at this time around $82,000, so about a $5,600 decrease. However, we do feel we're going to make all that up this year with the Classic Car Show and everything else coming up. And again, I listed some of our programs that are included with that. Our expenses for the first quarter had a 12.5% decrease, so yay, or almost $27,000 in our overall expenses. So for the first quarter, we had a little less than $189,000 in expenses compared to almost $216,000 last year first quarter on expenses. We did have some added expenses for the Day of the Dead celebration. As I mentioned, it went from a ticketed event to a free event, but those were extremely minor, and considering the rise of consumer goods and the costs associated with that. So we fared very well. Our building expenses, the first quarter was around 8,500, 7,500 for grounds, program supplies and all of that. So it was a great having expenses down a little bit. So in summary, the revenue for the first quarter, as I mentioned, had a minor decrease related to programs which will make up the rest of the year. We had a meager dip in the rentals, but brought in, we had a increase, 24% increase in our rentals, meager dip in the other revenue, and bringing in 5,000 in the hotel occupancy tax. Our visitation, engagement, and activation continues to rise, and we're seeing more and more Farmers Branch residents attending our programming and events and everything. So for example, our Christmas teas, we had 209 attendees for the 4 seatings. 146 of those were residents, and 63 were non-residents. Whereas 146 residents, 63 were non-residents coming from surrounding communities. Whereas for charcuterie, our non-residents, we had 17 and we had 8 residents. Kids in the Kitchen, our 2 classes with that, we had 12 residents and 24 non-residents attending. So we're getting a nice mix of both, and that was the whole point. Activating the park, bringing in more residents and non-residents for all the different offerings. So rounding out the first quarter, as I mentioned, the expenditure saw a 12.5% decrease, or a savings of almost $27,000. Last year, we did not have any projects or payments that rolled over. So if y'all remember, the first quarter of last year, we had a rollover final payment for $57,000 for the log cabin disassembly project. So we didn't have any rollovers that went from last fiscal year to this fiscal year. So that also helped with the decrease in our expenses. And all the other expenses related to standard operational costs. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
So when we rebuild the houses, have we already paid for that, or was that in the quote?
That was not. That will be a completely separate project.
So that will be another expense later.
Yes. And all that, we have our master plan slated to be done this fiscal year. So with that, they'll be able to give us a really great overview, not only on everything out here, but the rebuilding of the log cabins, location, any adaptations, anything that needs to be done, whether it's our floodplain and water runoff, assessing everything. And then hopefully along with that also give us a nice estimate of what that cost might be. So then we can start looking for funding options as well to help offset that.
When do you think that will take place?
The master plan will start this fiscal year. So I'm in the process of writing it. We'll get the draft to Robert for review, and then we're hoping to have it out for the RFQ in April, early May, and then get the ball rolling on it as fast as possible.
Has a location been decided on, or
For the
for
rebuild?
the rebuild?
No,
That's the master plan.
Yes, that will help.
That's
with
the
all of
master
that.
plan they're working on. So the weddings that were here and the baby shower, do we take pictures, or somebody take pictures that we can use, so when people are on the Facebook page or our website or whatever?
We do a lot of times. We will ask for a lot of the weddings if we can take photographs and use for marketing materials and all. A lot of times people who do rentals will automatically post, and we're able to use that as well.
Okay. So I haven't seen any pictures, I wouldn't mind. I mean, are they using this one for a wedding, or?
The Dotson House, church, all of that in here. For the first quarter, yeah, pretty much everything with these 2 structures, definitely Dotson House.
Okay.
Sometimes people don't necessarily want to share their photos, but
understand.
we've definitely reached out because we wanted to collect more images for marketing.
Yeah.
And so we've been asking on that, but I'll make a note just to make sure every single one is asked. And if they share any or tag us, then checking with them to make sure it's okay that we can, repost and use for marketing and advertising and letting people know.
And when we have weddings over there, will that show on our income sheet here?
There's
Or will it be something else?
I will have a section, the last I heard, showing that information, but that does not factor into our budget. The event center in Lynette has a separate, and she'll be able to report all that revenue and everything.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, moving on, we're going to receive an update on historical park current projects, events, and upcoming activities.
In your packet, we have our list of upcoming events. I won't go through all of them. We just had our Girl Scout workshop, one that was from a reschedule from January, correct? Yes. And then the one for February. So we had two, on Monday, we had two sold out workshops that went on all day. So it was a ton of Girl Scouts out here, had a fabulous time. So that was a great event. Coming up next weekend is our Mad Hatter Tea, and it is sold out. So, and then also if you were at council the other evening to witness the Witness History Award, then after that we also of course received our DFW Directors Award for Mad Hatter Tea. So all staff was there to receive that, and that was really nice.
Do you need help with setting that up, or will the staff set that up? The Mad
Cool.
Hatter's Tea?
The staff sets it up, so
Okay.
when you're leaving out tonight, if you came through that door, exit out this one and just take a peek in the little bridal suite over there.
Oh,
Bonnie has a
okay.
lot already staged
Yeah.
as far as some of the decorations, because we still have some rentals and things going on this week. The Branch Connection is doing some of their classes and whatnot in here, so we have to wait pretty late to get it all set up. So we'll do that next, probably Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
Are you looking for any decorations, or?
I think
Think
we're
you've got
set,
everything? Okay.
however, that's a great lead in too.
Oh, okay.
We have a treat this year. I'm doing the Alice in Wonderland exhibit in the Queen Anne, and I'm super excited about that. I've done the exhibit once before, and all of the props that I made, I've let Bonnie borrow them for Mad Hatter Tea. So this year, we're dividing and conquering. I'm having to remake a whole bunch of things. So I will let you know next week if we need anything.
Okay.
Because I've pilfered several things. I'm like, no, I made that first. I'm using it for my exhibit. So there we may need, but we have all kinds of things, and she makes it so beautiful in here. But we should be good. I've got a whole stash that I've already made, and that's what I'm working on this weekend.
Okay.
Just making more flamingos and topsy-turvy cakes and all kinds of fun things. So the exhibit will be up. It opens on Saturday the 2nd. However, we're encouraging people to come after Tuesday, just so, because with the event, they'll be going through the exhibit and everything. We'll have tours, and just like all of our other exhibits, the Christmas exhibits and all, tours will be available. We will keep it up for a while. Definitely know it's through May, because we're doing our Mums and Sons is an Alice in Wonderland theme that kind of ties in with it, and I kind of have a few other ideas for things. But definitely come back. I think we're going to do like a little preview open house, drop by for staff, and if y'all like to come by and see, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about it. Our regular lawn games, paint rocks, those are coming up. The Girl Scout birthday bash will be on March 14th, and I'm going to pass this around, a flyer for it. So we are currently, if y'all remember, we do programs throughout spring break, but this is part of it with the Girl Scouts. We collect, we create birthday parties in a box and then donate them to MetroCrest Services. So we try to collect as many birthday cakes, mixes, icing, candles, napkins, anything you can think of for a birthday party. Then we box all of those up, decorate boxes. The Girl Scouts help all that week, write out cards, everything like that, and then we take them all to MetroCrest Services. And then so throughout the years, as families come through the food bank, if anyone in that family is celebrating a birthday that month, they get a box. So I have flyers for that give you all the information, and then we have dates of here. We're doing collection. If we're doing like a drive-through, you can drop off, or just call us and we'll drop by your house, whatever you need to do. We have a collection box here, and I believe there's also one over at the rec center. So that's very excited about that, but that's coming up, our birthday bash. And then our next big one is the adult egg hunt, which is on March 22nd. And I sent around last time the sign-up sheet, so I'm going to do that once more. for the volunteer sign up where we have help, I have flyers. And then I also have, y'all were asking about donation forms for prizes, so I have all of those. I'm just gonna pass these around. That is,
Thank you.
that is on Friday, March 22nd, 7:30 to 10:30. We are still seeking donations. And if y'all have attended in the past, you know it is so much fun. Nighttime egg hunt for adults 21 and up, where you run around like kids. With your admission, you get a alcoholic beverage, light refreshments. Every egg has a prize that goes along with it. There will be all the glow-in-the-dark games and just, it's so much fun watching adults run around in the dark with flashlights like brains. So please come and just experience the fun. We're doing pretty good on, staff does the redemption tent, so we're doing pretty good on volunteers. Christian has graciously offered to be our Easter bunny again this year for photo ops, and you have a brand new costume. So it's ours, so we're not borrowing. So every year you'll have your own, and it's just great then. So if you're able to make it, please do so. If it happens to rain, our rain date is the following Friday. But knock on wood, we haven't had to do that yet. And I always say if you put a rain date down, you're not going to need it. So. And then the very next night is the Gateway to the Globe. While it's not technically our event, I did want to remind everyone about that. The multicultural event will be out here Saturday, March 23rd. Starting at 11 a.m. So that will be so much fun. So please, if you're in town, please stop by and experience all the fun with that. Then we also have special events is putting on Denton Drive Live. All of the Denton Drive Lives will be out here at the Historical Park this year. And the
Great.
That's awesome.
yeah. Did I tell
No.
you?
No,
So-
that's great.
Okay,
Construction on Denton Drive will be happening. So just to keep things easier, all of the Denton Drive Lives will be out here. So the upcoming one is April 13th, starting at 6 p.m. and it's the Elton Johns and Hard Nights Day.
Excuse me, does that replace what was going on at the Grove?
Yes, they're moving what was at the
Entirely?
Grove over here. Yes, absolutely.
Just temporarily, or?
I definitely know for this year, I haven't heard moving forward, but it's,
For all of this year, there's 7 of them, is that 6, 7?
there's not many.
I think there's only gonna be 4. I don't think they have as many as they've had in the past.
There's an email just sent about that.
Yes, and I know on their website and the Facebook page, because I was looking earlier to make sure I had the names down right, the dates are listed and the musical acts. So again, that's April 13th, starting at 6 p.m. And then in May, we have our charcuterie board class. It is not sold out yet, so if you want to attend, I highly recommend getting tickets now, because it always sells out. And then Mums and Sons will be in May, and that's an adventures, Alice in Wonderland themed program for Mother's Day idea. And then that's pretty much it. Want to remind everyone, we are currently closing at 5 p.m., but starting March 3rd, we do it with the time change and everything. We will go back to our normal hours, March 3rd, returning to closing at 6 p.m. The park will be open on Memorial Day, closed on Easter, and closed on Good Friday. Any questions?
Denton Drive Live, there's 4. April
Okay.
13th, May 11th, June 1st, and July 13th. 13.
It didn't work.
I would probably just come check it out.
Just check it out.
I'll come on the next day as well.
June what? Just June?
June 1st
Oh, first, okay.
and July 13th.
Okay, thank you.
Will they be doing the crawfish boil again with one of them?
We just found out this past week that we were working, so we've gotten with the Roots Cafe to see about moving it to this property. And they came out, they were all excited, and then I think, and then last week, or I guess it was earlier this week, they decided it was too much. They're trying to get the new restaurant, so they've got a new concept going, I think.
The Italian.
Ricci.
And
Which is
they're, I think
Italian.
that's kind of, I think they're trying to get that open and push that. So I think they just were, and I think Chef Deary was overcommitted to some other things, so they decided to go ahead and back out. But we're still gonna, I think, do a Cajun theme band and things like that. I think they're trying to line up some Cajun type food trucks, I think, for that event as well. So
that'd
they'll
be
still have the theme, you know, they'd already kind of committed to the Zydeco band and all that kind of stuff, so, yeah, so it'll be good. Crawfish, I don't know if you've already, it's kind
It's
of,
expensive right now.
yeah,
and
they're not doing well right now, so,
Not a good season.
no. I think they've had some dry weather in that part of the world, so, anyway. But I think it'll be a good time, it should be good.
Alrighty, moving on, receive an update from board members on parks, programs, events, and facilities attended in Farmers Branch.
Did you know that the sunroom is now the Mahjong capital for all the Mahjong maidens?
The what room
The sunroom,
is now what?
the place for the
Mahjong.
Connections Mahjong playing. And we have more people come here than to Connections.
Wow,
Nice.
And people are like,
I love that
I
game.
never come here. The only comment I get is, can we clean the jealousy windows?
Clean the which one?
The jealousy windows.
We have tried, because that is a frustration of mine. Those are, hopefully we're gonna be replaced in the next couple of years, because that has been a problem of trying to get something that will clean that, but we will look into it again and see if I can get it better looking than what it currently is.
But everyone is so excited to come out here. I'm so
What
excited.
day is that?
It's on Mondays at 12:30 to 3:30. And I don't know if the Wednesday
Wednesdays
group
are
plays.
Fall?
Nope, you just show up.
Okay.
What size group do you have?
We had 27 the other on
Wow.
Monday.
Is this a class or
No,
is it
Mahjong.
just the chance to
It's
play?
just,
Is
The
it a
Mahjong
card
maidens.
game or-
No, it's like a
tile.
tile game, like a
You
domino.
play with, it's American Mahjong with a card.
Yeah.
So you
What,
come
what
along.
level is it? Because I just started playing Mahjong
It's
this
all
past
levels.
year.
Then, yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, everyone's like, I haven't been here in years. And it's like, well, how come not?
Well, good, yeah, tell them to come out for more stuff. But yes, I just made a note about the windows, so we'll get that cleaned up.
And how about the award that went on for the
Friday. The
Yeah,
Witness to
that's
History
now.
Award went great. We sent some pictures, the few that we could take.
Was she excited?
When you get 4 mayors together, they all have to outdo each other.
Oh,
So there was
right.
lots of mayor talk.
Yeah.
If one of them ever gets up there, you don't get him to
Right.
sit down.
We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, she was very honored.
Nice.
And I think at the end, they took a picture and there were like 21 people supporting her.
Yeah,
But not everyone could get there because council chamber was so full.
yeah, it was very, very full, and it was nice to see that. I think it was just in, if you've seen the newest communication from the communications department, talking about the meeting, the photo of everyone that stood up there at the podium, it was a nice full group, so, yeah. And hopefully they panned the audience, because I know a couple ones later, we got up there to get the DFW, and it was packed.
Yeah,
Everywhere
I
looked, I couldn't find a
I
seat.
left afterwards because I thought we were gonna take a picture. I couldn't get back in.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
So were you the only one in attendance?
No, Van was there
Okay.
and,
I watched it online.
yeah. Well, but lots of people from Farmers Branch Women's Club, a lot of people from her church, a lot of people from, her teaching days.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And her husband got up there and started, well, we met.
Of course.
Yeah, and then John
It went
got up
through
and
the whole-
talked about, yeah, going to have tea with the queen and that's why we have tea here.
Right.
I was like, oh god. Not with the queen, but yeah.
So was Robert there?
No. John and, her husband and the current mayor and,
Bob, Bob,
Okay.
Um,
Bob.
yes.
the pictures.
No, Brian's down.
That's okay.
That's okay. Okay, any other report on anything?
How's the multicultural going?
It's going really, really well. It's gonna be
Are
amazing.
you on the committee?
Yes,
Okay.
and I've just such a great team. Jeff, that guy he's amazing, and his team is amazing. It's a joy to work with them.
He's
But I
amazing.
did make a comment, and that there are gonna be like different vendor booths and different food booths. And I noticed that his Friends of the Park are not listed as anywhere. And I thought that might be a good opportunity for, the paletas, no, the paletas and also membership drive.
Okay.
I'm sure that they'd accommodate it if there was interest. It's gonna be, there's I think it's a 6-foot piñata
Wow.
that they're having custom made. I don't know if it's a surprise or not. Well, it's not anymore. Like this custom giant piñata, and they're gonna have to have one of the city guys go up in the bucket.
And crane it up there.
It's just gonna be really cool.
And when is this?
It's gonna be the day right after the Easter, so we're gonna be able to utilize, I'm sure, a ton of the stuff. The way, the stage, the entertainment, there's gonna be the Chinese lion dancers and, the lion dancers and just like from Indian culture and truly, truly a multicultural event. They're gonna have a Rodrigo with live mariachi.
Oh.
It's gonna be really amazing. I think they were working on some of the food booths, but honestly, it's an honor to work with Jeff and his team. Those guys are powerhouses. Yeah, I'm learning a lot from them.
Just called multicultural
Mhm.
event?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's Gateway to the Globe.
Gateway to the Globe.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's gonna be out here.
It's gonna be out here from 11 to 4. I don't have my notes in front of me. I think it's 11 to
When you
4.
said gateway to the globe, my mind went over there.
So imagine the piñata is gonna be like a giant.
So
I think that's what I'm the most excited about.
How big is the piñata?
I think it's 6 feet, like a giant.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna put the candy in there because that's a lot of candy.
It's a lot of candy.
Yes.
And they're gonna have like, there's gonna be a children's area with puppet shows for the kids, but the entertainment is gonna be nothing like we've ever seen. So it's gonna be
Now, is
really
this a
fun.
paid event?
No,
Yeah.
it's,
Did you
yeah.
ask, no admission?
No
Okay.
admission, yeah. So I think it would be great if we did have the paletas or something there. I was kind of surprised when I didn't see anything in the
Well, I
lineup.
wouldn't even think about it because we weren't like a multicultural type thing.
Well, since it's here in the park and
No, I agree with you.
since we've done paletas in the past, it
Mhm.
seems like that would be like a good fit, like a fundraiser.
I never tell them.
Yeah, no, but,
I can check with,
yeah, let me know. Who was the person?
Lucretia Loretta.
Well, Johannes is the chair of Friends.
Is he
I thought he
still
gave that up.
active?
I thought it
Oh, I
was,
haven't heard he stepped down.
oh.
Who
I
is
can
it?
call him.
Johannes?
Still? Okay.
Last I heard.
Okay, I'll check on him too. Okay, so we're gonna discuss agenda items for the future, historical preservation and restoration board meeting. We talked about earlier putting on the agenda to have our April meeting be a tour of the facility, if that works. But I guess, we'll vote on it next month.
So I put that down for March.
Anything else we need to discuss?
Are there other connection activities happening here at the park?
Yes. I cannot remember the whole list. I know the Mahjong. There were several other ones.
I thought there were.
Dulcimers,
And they practice in the church.
yes. And I want to say there was 2 or 3 others. I know a couple just got canceled because I think they had other things going on. I believe Domino's, there was a gentleman that showed up one day for the Domino's class and everything. So yeah, there's quite a few that are here. And then I believe the others are over at the library.
The senior breakfast, is that gonna be, has that been discussed?
I have not heard anything about it.
Okay.
They're still having it.
Where are they having it?
I don't know, but they asked us to give them a quote from our restaurant.
Oh, yeah?
But it's at 8:15. We don't open till 10, so we're not going to be able to
Okay.
accommodate them. But they said for about 100 people every month.
Yeah, right. But I wonder where it is.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Making up some breakfast for kids.
Our
so
meeting
good.
at 7:10,
Yeah, we opened.
meeting is adjourned.
Do we need to vote?
No, not until next month. We vote on that.
Oh, vote to adjourn?
Adjourn,
Oh.
we usually do.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Just a second.
Second. I'll be alternate, I forgot.
7:10, meeting's adjourned.
Has anybody been out 3 times?